Okay, you would have received a kit for this topic, and in your kit you'll find lots of pieces of material and some instructions and some paper. What we're going to do is take out the first piece of paper out of our kit, and we're going to use this to learn how to manage our sewing machine. We're going to try and investigate how our sewing machine works today. So what we're going to do is not worry about the thread for the first activity. We're going to just use the guides that have been drawn on the piece of paper, and we're going to use our sewing machine to see what it can do for us. So I want you to lift your presser foot, and I want you to place your paper under your presser foot. You'll notice it'll curve up around the sides. We're going to use the solid line first. We're going to use straight stitch. So going back to all machines are different, you need to make sure that you refer to your manual for your sewing machine. And what I'm going to get you to do is to sew on the black solid line. Right, so always start with your hand on the hand wheel, and to put the needle down, make sure the presser foot's down, otherwise the paper will flap. And we're just going to try and follow the black line as best we can and learning how to control our sewing machine. The idea is that we are sewing in a straight line, but we're also learning the speed of the machine and how fast and how slow it can go. So that is the first one, okay? Lift up the presser foot and we'll come over to the second one. So if we're okay with that, what I would like you to do is to change your settings to zigzag, right? My machine automatically, if I press a button, will do it. You may need to change the stitch length and the stitch width for that to happen, right? So you can see my machine is now, the needle is moving backwards and forwards across the lines. Backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. Again, we're just going in a straight line. You'll notice that my hands are away from the edge of the needle and away from the presser foot. We're just guiding it through. The feed dogs under the presser foot are actually dragging the paper through. And we get to the end, lift. All right, now you can always test this on the back by seeing the dots that you've created with your machine needle. See that? All right, let's go back to straight stitch. So we've got a row of dots here. The idea is that we're just going to continue to sew on the dots and just get a feel again for the machine. They're feeling the difference between the straight and the zigzag. Okay. So you've gone a little bit faster there because I'm a little bit more confident after my third row of stitching. All right, we're up to number 4. Not all sewing is in straight lines, so I'm going to have to use my needle to do curves and corners. So we've got a test here, a solid black line, but it's a very large zigzag. So back to zigzag again, remember to refer to your manual. So back I go across, I'm putting the 2 stitches across my black line, and all I'm doing is getting a feel for how fast or how slow I'm pushing down the presser foot on my machine. Right, when I get to a corner, what I want to do is put the needle down. Then I want to lift the presser foot and to turn my presser foot in the direction I intend to go to. So I'm intending to come down here, so I now have the presser foot coming this way. Just keeping your fingers either side out of harm's way. Right, to the point, put the needle down. Again, I'm going to lift my presser foot and I'm turning my paper, and I am going to finish off this very, very large zigzag. So corners are important when you want a sharp finish, maybe to a collar or a pocket. And that's why we need to know how to do corners. Right, again, lift the presser foot and turn the page. If you don't lift the presser foot, you will tear the page. All right, just finish. And lift it up. All right, so the last one is for curved lines. The idea is that curved lines are around our body because our body is not flat. So we often have curved lines around our sleeves, our necklines, our waist. So we need to know how to manage them to sew. So for this one, we're going to go back to straight stitch and we're going to guide the paper through to create curved lines. Again, stay on the black line and just guide your paper. Guide your paper. All right, so test how well we went is to look at the back and to see whether our dots are on the lines.